And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I wiggle this wire here, and you can see that we're going to get a voltage change. So absolutely, we have a rubbing wire. Now to find the wire. Okay, what do we got here? P0712, transmission fluid temperature sensor circuit, low voltage. ABS has been mismatch. Huh. So transmission fluid temperature sensor circuit, low voltage. I think there's a VIN mismatch. They told me they got a PCM for this truck. What we got here? 869. That's probably near impossible for you guys to see. So the VIN is incorrect, which is fine. But P0712, that is definitely a problem. Let's see what the temperature sensor is reading at this time. This is just key on, engine off. Nothing like loading. Using search function really helps speed things up. I might as well pick the voltages as well, because transmission, it reads 302 degrees, 0 volts, no fault. No fault. Yes, fault. Okay. So most likely we are either shorted to ground or we have an open circuit. One of those two things. Let's see what we get. Okay. So again, the VIN number on the truck is different than what came up on the scan tool. So when we're looking at service information, we're going to use what's on the truck, because that's what's going to be on the wiring diagram. So we're looking for a transmission fluid temperature sensor. Range, starting, 470E, transmission fluid temp, right here. TFT. So basically, there's a chance that we have an open circuit from the transmission to the PCM, but more likely, what's more likely, I think in my opinion, it's going to be whatever this is, this gray and red wire. This gray and red wire is probably going to be our power supply, electronic engine controls. Let's see here. So I might not be able to see it here in this part. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Let me go back. We're going to open another page. Red and light green. That's what this one shows. That's not what we had. What we have is gray and red. This one's red. red and yellow on this one here. What is this one? Gray and red. Let's open this up, see what we find. We got G, H, and I. Cylinder head temp. Oh, but our cylinder head temperature was fine. Fuel rail, power steering. So then most likely, because we got H, G, H, and I. 24.3, 24.3, 24.3. 23.5, 24.5, 25.5. Let's go to our next page. 24.5. Right? You guys see what I'm saying? It says 23.5, 24.5, and 25.5. So currently, here we are on page 24.5. So this is the correct page. So even though it's not labeled with a letter on the TCM diagram, it does show one of these is what we got. So there's a chance that there's a broken splice. But since we have a good cylinder head temp, right, if I'm correct, yep, cylinder head temp is showing 100 degrees. I don't think that we're going to have a broken feed. It's going to be the return, the actual signal. Our orange and black wire, and that comes back up to the PCM. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a wiggle test first. Now we're underneath the hood. We can see that the harnesses run pretty well back underneath the PCM, back to the transmission. This is most likely our TCM connector. I could be wrong, but most likely that's the correct. So let's just do some wiggling. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I wiggle this wire here, and we can see that we're going to get a voltage change. So absolutely, we have a rubbing wire. Now to find the wire. Okay, so now I've gotten it stuck at working 78 degrees, which is, you know, ideally where you want it if the vehicle's not been running. But I'm gonna see if I can't zoom us in here. It's hard to see. There is a harness up there that is not happy. And then even beyond that, in there, it looks like it's laying across the valve cover. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm gonna go get a pry bar and see if I can't push it up and get it to short out. Okay, so you're not going to be able to see this. This is very difficult to see. But I got a feeling, sorry about that noise. I got a feeling I'm going to have to I'm not sure how to get to that harness. It may require pulling the valve cover off. That it may. It for sure is on the bottom. Or in that harness. Okay, so we've determined that the orange and black wire is the one that is shorted. It's the one touching ground. We know this because this gray and red wire feeds many other things, including temperature sensors. So if it was shorted here, it would pull the entire circuit down, And we would have saw that on scan tool data, but scan tool data showed us that the only sensor affected was the transmission fluid temperature. So we know that it's the orange and black. We know this wire is not shorted and this wire is not open from here because the transmission fluid temperature sensor does work. So now we're going to go, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut this at pin number 5 and pin number 20. Pin number 5 is at TCM, pin number 20 at the PCM, transmission connector, and then PCM. And we're going to run an overlay to prove this out. This will be a temporary fix. This customer is out of town. They're going to be going on a long drive. You just need to get it home. The harness is in big trouble and it needs a lot of work anyhow. So they're going to have to go through that whenever they get to their final destination. So I have isolated that orange and black wire. Very hard to see. See if I can go close up of it. Maybe we're going to go ahead and snip it right there. We're going to give ourselves plenty of room for future repairs. I'm not going to cut it right at the connector. Okay. Okay, now as you can see, I have butt connected this wire on. I did leave enough length for another repair to be made. But unfortunately, I didn't want to tear up the harness even more on this particular situation. It's just so brittle and falling apart. So now I'm going to run this, I do believe, along up to this transmission dipstick tube, and I'm gonna we have some rubber hose that we're gonna put around the wire to keep it protected. And then from there, we're gonna come over straight across to this ground strap. We're gonna run this ground strap as it goes up into the engine bay. Okay, started there. And hose our way forward. We secured some rubber, protect it. Pull clamps to the engine ground. Plenty safe, free hanging there. Next there, I'm going to trim that zip tie so it's not rubbing against that belt. From there, it comes up along this harness. We run it up, and we still have a little bit more to do up top. Okay, now we have made it up to the PCM. We have our orange and black wire. We're going to go ahead and snip it here. Whoops. That one was the incorrect size. That's the correct size. Always want to check, make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, now we'll secure the connector back on this. Can we do that yet? Nope, not yet. Let's run the rest of our wire, which is just right here. We have a little slack because of engine movement. The engine itself, the mounts, you know, are gonna move. Now, that's in there. Do we have enough? Yes, we do. It's not pulling too hot. Gonna pull nice and snug. Ready to put this cap back on. There we go. This is nice and good. Time to go on that test trial. We have run it like so. Zoom out. We do have the wire coming down. It is taped to battery positive, in which it continues to follow the negative harness all the way down. Okay, as difficult as that is to see, we are just now coming off of our idle, or coming down on our idle. And we have 80 degrees, 82.4, 2.8 volts. And we will monitor this. We'll let the truck warm up just a tad bit before I go on a drive. And we're going to see and make sure that this thing holds, does what it's supposed to do. Cruising along, engine's warming up pretty good. I got to put my seatbelt on. You can see here, scan tool data. Display's pretty nice. I've got it graphing 98.6 degrees. So it's warming up pretty good. We'll get it pretty decently up to temp, but the simple fact that it's not acting up, it's not spiking like they stated it is, it just shows me that we have a confirmed fix here. I'm confident to send this vehicle already. I don't really need to do this. I'm just doing this for verification purposes because it's what we're supposed to do, right? I've gone over bumpy roads already and sand and whatnot, and it didn't jiggle at all. It didn't spike, nothing. So here I am. I'm hitting some good bumps. You know, we're bumpy here. I'm trying to hold the camera straight, but hitting some good bumps, and this thing is perfectly fine. I see no issues with it at all. I'm very happy. We have a fix. So what are some key takeaways here? The repair shop told me, hey, look, we did the repairs. We go to back it out. It started to spike again. Okay, so that's engine movement, right? You put it in reverse. That's engine movement. So we put it in reverse several times already. Power brake it, both in reverse and in drive. And we get nothing. We have fixed this vehicle. I'm hoping you guys were able to see where it was rubbing. So anyways, this was a great day. Nice job. It was super easy. And listen to what your customers tell you. A good customer interview really helps you figure out a quick way. Helps you figure out the diagnosis and get to the bottom of the line fast. Hey, thanks for watching another episode. If you found this F-150 transmission temperature sensor repair helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss future tips and walkthroughs. If you have any questions or you need professional diagnostics and programming, drop a comment down below. See you next time.